This week's podcast promises to be out of this world. You will be over the moon as we discuss 10 songs about outer space. So fuel up your rocket, Rocket Man, as we boldly take you where no rock and roller has ever gone before. Get ready to rock out with your talk out. It's the Ludini Rock and Roll Circus. Five by five. We are 5 by 5, Niner. Looking out the right side today, you can see sunny Philadelphia as we cruise at an altitude of 37 feet. All right, it's a Ludini Rock and Roll Circus. Enough of this shenanigans. I get playing with these sound effects, right?
Oh my god.
No.
Perfect sound effect for songs about space.
That was a good effect.
Find the
right
Muppets
there.
from Space thing.
Yeah.
Pigs in space. Anyways, guys, so how's everybody doing? Welcome back. It is 2022.
Oh my
Thank
god.
God.
And we're ready to rock and roll for y'all. We have some fun stuff coming up this year as things open up. There's definitely going to be some Ludini Rock and Roll Circus live events in association with Lily V6 Productions as well. Nice. So we're going to do some fun stuff coming up. Sadly, it will not be the Subalpine.
Well, you know.
Probably not.
But anyways, guys, so welcome back. Lou Lombardi, a.k.a. Ludini, is here with you. Never fear, Ludini is here. We're going to have a good time. Great rock and roll coming at you for 2022. In the studio tonight, we have Mr. Pittsburgh Kevin.
Hey, everybody. How you doing?
Great to see you, my brother. And speaking of my brother, who's not my brother, but my sister from another mister, Miss Lily V6 from Rock Rage Radio.
What's up? And this is 40.
Welcome to 40. 40 years ago this year. It was 40 years ago today.
Oh my goodness. Feels like 39.
You don't look a day over 39.
Well, that's
So
good.
there you go.
Wow.
Hey, got that going for you.
I mean, there it is.
Just saying.
Well, guys,
And girls.
children of all ages, right? So anyways, it is the Ludini Rock and Roll Circus. We got Lily. We have Mr. Pittsburgh as well. The Hawk is still trying to work a few things out,
We
so
miss
hopefully he's
you.
going to be back. We do miss the Hawk.
We do miss the Hawk.
It's never the same without the Hawk.
Nope.
I reran a show for Rock Rage Radio last week. I reran one with Hal because he's always a
Oh, he's
card.
fun.
Ah.
So
Don't Look Up is the movie you were referring to on Netflix.
don't look up. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So that is a thing right now. There's this movie, Don't Look Up, that's got some characters running around trying to convince people of impending doom from outer space. So, and Keith had this idea about, songs about outer space. And I don't know how many of mine are actually about outer space.
That's okay.
But they've got something about outer space in the title
There you
or
go.
the chorus
Sure,
or something.
sure.
So that is how I did mine. We're just chilling and having a good time with you guys tonight. If anybody's watching, throw down a comment, and we'll be happy to acknowledge you. If you've got a song about outer space that you like, or with a space kind of title or something, throw it in. We'll gladly, toss it up for discussion.
Yeah.
We don't have a problem with that, do we?
We do
Hells
not.
To the no.
Okay, good. So, it is. Did everybody have a good holiday?
Yes.
Yes. I had like a 3-day hangover. It was wonderful.
Wow, that is
So the highlight of Lily's holiday was the 3-day hangover.
Yes.
hangover. Wow.
Pittsburgh, Mr. Pittsburgh.
Yes?
What was the highlight of your holiday?
Yeah. Not getting arrested.
That's
probably
good.
is always a good one,
Working.
Yeah, that's just it. I was working most of those days.
The highlight of my holiday was a 7-hour trip to the emergency room on December 24th.
Wow.
So that was exciting, to say the least. And
Not so much.
Yeah. So luckily, I'm among the living.
Yes.
So
'Cause you are one of the living.
not the living dead, I hope.
No,
but just
no.
the living. Speaking of the living dead, we were talking about some of the movies we watched over the holiday season here,
Right
and
then.
I watched several. I saw Antlers.
Not dead
Oh, I
ants.
know what that is.
That was pretty good. I watched My Heart Can't Beat Until You Tell It To. That's
Interesting.
outstanding. Outstanding movie.
Fascinating.
It's a lesson in what you can do with like no budget, but like they just sunk everything into amazing performances by these three actors. It's don't shy away from it because it's low budget. You should absolutely see it.
Okay.
It's really, really well done. So also No One Gets Out Alive. That's fantastic as well. That
Nice.
What is that? What is
absolutely
that?
Insane movie. That might be on Netflix right now. It's a horror film.
Okay.
Very
I know I've heard
really,
of it, but I haven't
really
seen it.
well done. Really interesting. Very different.
Okay.
So those are just a few
Very cool.
that I saw, and I was also telling everybody I saw a couple of old. I watched some old ones. I rewatched Marathon Man with Dustin Hoffman and 3 Days of the Condor with Robert Redford. Movies really worth those. Those are the movies that you can rewatch.
Right.
You can just
They're
rewatch
so
them.
well
like,
written.
Yeah, it's just like returning to like a. It's like listening to an album again.
Yeah.
Right,
Like
right.
those kind of movies. So I if you haven't, it's been a while since you see them. If you've seen them, you should go seek them out and check them out. So we're talking about space, and Lily says for us not to get
Too nerdy.
don't get into
Don't get too nerdy, Kay.
Don't do none of that space talking.
I'm
Ginger, all doing that
Don't
space
ever tell me
talking.
not to do something.
Because you'll do it more.
I'll do it.
I know. So this is just a kind of like a free form, free for all. Whatever happens, happens.
Sure.
We're just gonna have a little fun. So we're gonna go ahead and start with Lily.
As always.
Uh-huh.
So it looks like I have the same first as you have the same there, which is SpaceTruckin by Deep Purple.
Oh.
1972 from the album Machine Head. Its album and the whole album and lyrics talk of space travel, takes the concept into the galaxy as lead singer Ian Gillan describes a wild ride through the solar system. Both songs are fueled by guitarist Ritchie Blackmore's power chords. Like many of the Deep Purple songs of the era, SpaceTruckin started with a musical idea Ritchie Blackmore brought to the band. The riff he came up with came out of a finger exercise, shut up, he did based on the Batman theme song. This is why I don't want to read any of this.
Preemptive.
The lyrics take us on a wild ride through space with references to the Borealis, Pony Trekker, and the Canaveral Moonstop. And that is what I have for history on it.
Ian Gillan said it's not literal. Nothing in that song is literal.
no.
It's all a play on words. The studio version of the song runs about 4:31, but when the band played it live, it went much longer, sometimes stretching to about 20 minutes. A performance from a show in Osaka, takes up all of side 4 on the 72 Deep Purple double disc live album made in Japan.
I
Nice.
remember, Lou, I remember that show. It took very wrong. Very wrong song. Took a good 20 minutes.
I'm like,
Oh,
Okay, and we've just been canceled.
Yeah, that's what got us canceled.
right.
That's
When
what
out of
got us-
all the things.
well, see, when nobody's listening, we got Chris Thunderwolf Dotson, Michael Goltz, listening,
Joe Freeman.
Joe Freeman, Bill Damiano, and I forgot. We'll talk about Wolf's Customs here in a second. Sorry, Chris. We just sort of got ahead of ourselves.
As we do.
This is on the album, the classic album, which we talked about a few months ago, Machine Head. This was one of those songs. It was recorded in the hotel. Plan was to use the Montreux Casino in Switzerland as the studio to help capture their live movies and TV shows as well. So,
Yes.
great song.
Yes.
Mr. Pittsburgh, is there any?
I
I
do one or two. I have the one that when we first proposed this topic was I'm sorry, Lily. Rush.
Oh, it's okay.
Off the Signals album, Countdown. And the story behind that is the members of Rush were invited to watch a shuttle launch. Remember that?
It wasn't the Columbia.
I think it might have been the Endeavor. The Endeavor, if I'm not mistaken. Had it been the Columbia or the Challenger, that song would have been much different. But yeah, they were so impressed with just the spectacular sound and noise and the visuals that they actually sat down and wrote the song. And what I liked at the end of the song is they have the actual communication between the two, the ground control and the shuttle, which so that's mine there. Countdown.
The song was dedicated to astronauts John Young and Robert Crippen, all of NASA, for their inspiration and cooperation. Alex Lifeson told Guitar Magazine in 1984, a song like Countdown has a bar of 4/4 followed by a bar of 11/8. Remember we talked about songs with mixed meter?
Yeah, and I'm still confused.
It's more of a feel than a conscious effort. The way we write, we have the lyric or idea of what the song is going to be. That idea sets a mood. By changing the time signature, you can change the whole effect of the song. I guess in that respect, we do go off into those changes without making a conscious effort, yet it does make the song more complex. That influence came from the British progressive movement and bands like Yes and Genesis. They had a big influence on us. I guess you're always picking something that is around as an effect on the way it's an effect on the way you hear the music. As long as you can hear those things and apply them, you're growing. A lot of times bands lock into something and stay there, and that's the end. They make 2 or 3 records of the same thing, and those happen to be their most popular records, so they just kind of stick with it because that's what works for them. So that's Alex Lifeson kind of expanding a little bit on this on that song. I also have a Rush song on my list, and there's actually several. Excuse me. I was thinking about Countdown, but I wanted to talk about not that. Oh, this is different.
Oh,
sorry.
I'm
using a different browser, and my stuff's all jacked up. Cygnus X1.
Yes. Okay.
And this is from A Farewell to Kings, which I always love the album cover for this.
Mm-hmm.
It's really, really interesting. It's like a lot of textures. I don't I'm sure that's some piece of artwork. I'll have to look that up sometime. But Cygnus X1 is the name given to an X-ray source in the constellation of Cygnus, believed to be a black hole.
Ooh.
In Greek mythology, Rocinante is the name of the horse that Zeus rides. It was also the name of Steinbeck's motorhome in Travels with Charlie, as well as the name of Don Quixote's horse. This is a 2-part song, with part 1 appearing on A Farewell to Kings and part 2 appearing on Hemispheres. Yes. Interesting. The 2 individual parts are only tenuously connected. Part 1 was split into these different sections. I'm not going to read all the different sections. Geddy Lee's unique vocals on the track resulted in part from experimentation with different microphones. So
Fancy.
Just a little bit about Cygnus X1 by Rush. Double shot of Rush. If I would get the Rush out of the way.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Because,
Thanks.
And we know how much Lily was suffering.
I wasn't suffering. I just can't contribute to it. So, sorry.
Can't or won't?
Can't.
No, all right.
I'm not knowledgeable enough of it, other than it's a bore to me. I'm sorry to all the Rush fans out there.
That's some
just
space. Well,
That's some
let's
space
take
talk.
a break and let's say hello to Wolf's Customs. Go to wolfscustoms.online. Check them out. You want to get a custom paint job, custom artwork done on your musical instrument. Chris Thunder, Wolf Dotson, and wolfscustoms.online is where you need to go. Also, shout out to Rock Rage Radio, rockrageradio.com. Download the app where you can hear great music content 24/7. Including the Ludini Rock and Roll Circus and, of course, Hot Licks with Lily V6. So all kind of cool stuff there. So check that happy horse shit out. Our website, is LudiniRockandRollCircus.com and LouLombardiMusic.com. All kind of freebies there and resources and things that you don't know about. So check it out. Okay, back to our regularly scheduled program, already in progress.
Wow. The next song I'm going to talk about is Intergalactic by the Beastie Boys.
How beastly.
From the album Hello Nasty from 1998. And I do love this album. It's probably the only Beastie Boys I love. I'm sorry, I'm not into them. But their robotic sound inspired the lyrics, with mention of the planet Uranus, Be Quiet, and Mr. Spock's Vulcan Death Grip. This video is a play on the old Japanese flicks like Godzilla, where Tokyo is destroyed by a large monster, which it is. It's a giant robot like attacking everybody in it.
Scary.
So it's like old movies of Godzilla for the visuals, and the lyrics are all space related. The video is actually filmed in Japan, and the subways you see are from Tokyo. It won the 1999 MTV Video Music Award for Best Hip Hop Video.
Cool. Song incorporates Rachmaninoff's Prelude in C-sharp minor. Also samples Love is Blue by the Jazz Crusaders.
All right.
Well,
word.
how about that?
The robotic sound was created with a vocoder, which is an electronic device originally created to encode speech. The funk musician Roger Troutman used the device on a lot of his songs, which were later sampled by hip-hop artists. Cher processed her vocal on the 1998 Believe hit, but that was done with an auto-tune software that came in the market in 97. The robotic sound inspired the lyrics, which mentioned the planet Uranus.
I knew it was going to... I did not
Are
want
there
to
a
say
bunch
it.
of Klingons?
Okay, as Lily was telling us about what the song is about. The word drop in the line Beastie Boys known to let the beat drop comes from the Beastie Boys track The New Style from their License to Ill album. That's an album I'm a little bit more familiar with because of this won a Grammy, well, as you said. We talked about the video. Piece of classical music at the beginning of the song, Night on Bald Mountain by Modest Mussorgsky. It was edited out of the radio version, which is which is a common thing. There were, and they've always done this. There was the single version, and then there was the
radio
album
edit
version,
Right.
And it wasn't always for naughty words. It was sometimes for stuff like this. There was some long intro or whatever, and they just, so they needed to fit it on the 45 single. So stuff was edited out, and there's been some notorious things. That would be a good podcast. Songs, that were edited for radio.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I like it.
Like because there's some that were like kind of like artists were pissed off, like Led Zeppelin with Whole Lot of Love. They didn't want that.
Section.
Yeah, they were like
Paradise by the Dashboard Light is very much edited for radio because it's 8 minutes long.
I mean, even the speaking of Meatloaf, even I Would Do Anything for Love. The full version is like almost 12 minutes.
Yeah. His songs were epic though.
Yeah. Yes. Okay, so that was a little bit of that there Beastie Boys.
Yeah, boys.
OMG.
So beastly.
The
Beastly Boys. And Pittsburgh Kevin, do you have another one you talk about?
Yeah, I got another one here. Remember Children of the... Jesus.
Children of
Jesus. Children of the Sun. Yeah. Who's that? Billy Thorpe?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a very cool song. I always liked the the texture of the guitar in that. What was that? Was that a flanger? Was that some sort of compressor? If you remember? Yes. You can tell us, Lou. Lou, I come to the source.
If I told you, I have to kill you.
Again.
Remember
what happened last time?
Again and again and again.
You really had to resurrect me. It was not
You said erect.
No, I said resurrect.
Erect.
Oh, I guess I did say erect.
This is the Children of the Sun is the third studio album by Australian musician Billy Thorpe, released in 1979. The album spawned the singles Wrapped in the Chains of Your Love, Goddess of the Night, Children of the Sun, and Simple Life. The album peaked at number 44 on the Kent Music Report. The album was Thorpe's debut album in the United States of America. So you can see somebody not from America wrote this. In 87, the album was partially reissued as Children of the Sun Revisited, featuring 5 songs from original album plus 3 newly recorded tracks from a compilation. Castbox Magazine said the album was an ambitious rock project, saying side 1 is a fairly mainstream set of guitar rock numbers, but side 2 is an imaginative, fantasy-like concept work which depicts the massive transporting of human life on Earth to a new destiny in outer space. Wow. So out of all the songs we mentioned so far, this might be the most spacey.
Oh.
The most spacey.
The most spacey stuff.
That's not a word.
Yes, it is.
It is now.
In the Ludini dictionary.
People of the earth, can you hear me?
Yeah, see?
Hear my voice from the sky on the magical night. That might be the sound effect.
That's pretty darn close.
This is not a space song,
yes.
But kind of reminded me how they have that long intro in the beginning. Do you remember Fantasy by Aldo Nova? It's another one of those that has those.
And you're like, oh, when's the song going to start?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, like, again, there is a super long version of that intro.
Oh,
there's the one that you do hear sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there's even versions now where they cut that out. But there's one that's even like, and it's really like, really? Oh. Come on, let's
start it.
Let's pick it up. Let's pick it up.
You can go get a bite to eat. And come back, and it's still in there. You know.
You can have a sandwich.
It's like, don't bore us. Take us to the chorus.
Exactly.
But it's a good pick,
yeah,
Mr. Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
and I think that was a favorite here in Pittsburgh. I mean, I don't know.
If always on the rock station.
I mean, they always, and Michelle will put it on the lunch.
Hey, Michelle, you didn't play that Children's Song for us.
For all the guys working down in Isley's.
Oh my God.
Thanks, Michelle.
But anyways, I think that's a cool one.
Yeah.
What do you think, Lily?
I like that one.
Do you
Thank
like
you,
that
I
one?
do.
Thanks, Lily.
Okay, this is
Lily likes it.
Hey, Lily.
Yeah.
She likes it.
Shut up. It's not like Mikey.
Mother hells and balls ass.
Yeah. Wow.
Okay, so here we go. This is a song that I freaking love. This is like one of my favorite songs from the 90s. Absolutely, hands down.
Sure.
But a lot of people are kind of meh on it, but I think it's a great song. It is Space Lord, Mother Mother by
I know that one, yeah.
Monster Magnet. Right.
Right then.
Right, boy. Right. All right. Very good.
The song was written as payback for some teasing that frontman Dave Windorf endured. He explained to Kerrang! I'd hurt my knee and had time off, so I spent it in a dominatrix's apartment in New Orleans. Our record company forwarded me press from Europe, and in Germany, they had called me Space Lord. She saw it and took the piss, saying, "So, you think you're the Space Lord?" I said, "Someday when I can walk, I'll make you pay for taunting me by writing a song about it." The line Space Lord Mother originally ended with the F word, motherfucker. But was truncated and an echo added to make the song more radio friendly. Yeah. They should have kept it in. It would have been
They
great.
should have, yeah.
They could have done one of those radio edit things that they always do where they cut the word out. The music video, directed by Joseph Kahn, was a direct spoof of the clip for the rapper Massey's Cut Feels So Good. It was the first visual ever aired on MTV's Total Request Live on September 14th, 1998. The song could be heard playing in the film Talladega Nights, The Ballad of Ricky Bobby, starring Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly. And Monster Magnet is still a band, and they're still putting out albums, and they're still touring.
Well, ain't that something?
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't even know.
Yeah. Great band. Great band. Great band.
I have one question. Now he hurt his knee. Had to go live with the dominatrix. What can I get if I hurt my elbow?
Let's put it this way.
Where can I go?
I read that story 3 times today.
Yes.
Trying to fit. It makes no sense.
Well,
Makes no. It's like somebody,
Sure.
whoever wrote that, and I got that from Songfacts. Whoever wrote that, they might have been tripping harder
Rewrite
than
it.
we are.
I
I mean,
didn't know
that
if there
was
some
like
correlation.
that paragraph didn't make any sense.
specific-
Guys, I know that you guys make a little fun out of me because I have a podcast and I trip over my words and say people's names.
yeah.
But I read that verbatim.
Wow.
Yeah, you did a good job.
I just didn't know if there was a
That's what it was.
correlation between body part and where you get to convalesce.
Right. I just think that he probably swings that way. He likes that sort of thing, and that was his thing.
Right, right.
And there it is.
God bless him. And boom goes
Goes
the dynamite.
dynamite.
Really D6.
There we
And we're
go.
going to take a break and play a song in a few minutes. But go ahead.
I'm going to pick one that I believe would be on Keith's list. This is one of the few things he and I agree on, which is OK Computer, but it's Subterranean Homesick Alien by Radiohead on OK Computer. The lead singer, Tom York, stated the first essay I ever wrote in school was you're an alien from another planet. You have landed and you are standing in the middle of Oxford and write an essay about what you see if you're an alien from another planet. And that's where a lot of it came from. Another influence of the song was an experience York had when he was driving down a country road and he hit a pheasant. After stepping out of the car to investigate, he began thinking about alien abduction. So he was very super into space and aliens and that whole thing. So
He was spacey.
he was spacey. But Radiohead is one of the few bands Keith and I agree on, especially OK Computer. So
There you go.
I chose it for both of us.
That's for you,
Good
Keith.
pick, of course. Of course, that's a good one. Good pick there.
That song
What
goes
do you
out for
what do you have there, Mr. Pittsburgh?
Jews in space.
Oh, boy.
No, I'm just kidding.
That's from the Mel Brooks.
Yes, yes. For all of our Yiddish
And I'm
friends.
still waiting for History of the World Part 2.
They're never doing it.
Oh,
Still waiting for it.
he's getting up there in years.
I guess the jig is up and gone.
I guess so.
Oh, Mel. But he's in his 90s.
Yeah, we just lost
He's
Carl
got it.
Reiner. Very sad.
And Betty White.
Stop.
I bet he white
I'm
too.
so upset about it.
I know.
Betty White died on
My 40th birthday.
She never got
Lily's
to see
birthday.
2022.
Well, she didn't get to see 100, which is in 2 weeks.
Well, if she would have made it to 100, like George Burns used to say, if you make it to 100, that's great, because not many people die after 100. So there you go.
Jed, there's that.
Couldn't quite get there.
But it was a
I
whole
love it.
thing.
You see, kids, there was a comedian named George Burns, and he was very, very old.
I love him.
I know.
This song has a spacey title, but it doesn't really have anything to do with outer space. But
No?
I like the song, so I picked it.
Okay.
And that is Supermassive Black Hole
No, I'm sorry, I'm thinking. Go
by
ahead.
Muse.
Yes,
Muse.
I know them. Muse.
By Muse.
Yes.
Yes.
The song, Matt Bellamy sings about being annoyed with the fame that has increased with the band becoming more popular.
Don't you just hate that? when your band
That's
becomes
one of those things,
popular?
man. I just get very, I scratch my head at because Muse is an awesome band. Right.
Yeah.
They're,
sure.
awesome band.
Yes.
But I mean, they're not the Rolling Stones.
No.
They're kind of fortunate. They should be kind of grateful that they have some fame. I don't know. Song was used on the soundtrack of the 2008 movie Twilight. Stephanie Meyer, who wrote the original novel, is a big fan of Muse, and after the song was placed on the movie soundtrack, the band's popularity jumped. In the track's 2.5 years of release before the Twilight film debut, it had sold just over 150,000 downloads. In the year after the film hit the screens, the track sold to over 300,000. Muse's manager, Cliff Bernstein, recalled to Billboard magazine, some time ago when the band was playing in Arizona, we invited Mayer to the show. Twilight director Catherine Hardwicke wanted to use Supermassive in a very long scene with a lot of dialogue in the foreground. We thought, this is fun. This is a nice woman who writes these books. She's a fan of ours. Let's get involved with this. No one was really thinking at the time, this is a huge opportunity. So they just weren't. They were just like,
Yeah.
this sounds cool.
Yeah,
we
let's
like
do
these
it.
books. This might be a fun thing to do. They weren't even thinking that, this could put us on the map, so to speak.
And it certainly
Anyways.
did.
Anyways, it's a very, very cool song. And if you haven't listened to it in a while, go back and give it a check out. We're going to take a break right now. I want everybody to relax. Just breathe. Breathe deeply. Okay. And we're going to listen to a song, and then we're going to come back,
Yeah.
and we're going to continue
Yeah.
talking
Yeah.
about spacey songs.
Kevin Spacey songs.
Well, Kevin Spacey songs.
Okay.
Okay. We're going to play the entire, what's the movie he did about Bobby Darin? Sea of Love, something like that. I can't
Oh,
remember.
maybe. Yeah.
Something like that. Anyways, guys, we'll be right back after this. Hang out for a little bit. We're going to take a little break. We'll be right back.
this door, I'm gonna raise you up to the top of the steeple. Trash talking, sideways walking, they do their best. Practical magic, reality twisting. I'm insistent, this comedy is turning tragic. Let's rewrite the script today. We want peace, peace in the valley. For peace in the valley we pray. Give us peace, peace in the valley. Peace in the valley today. Peace is the thing that no one wants. It's an unspoken four-letter word. My body shakes and twitches all night from every word I never heard. I need one thing to make my eyes red. With the sound of music so sweet, it's a love sign, not a battle cry. That will make the world I need. Hold me in your arms, sing to me. We want peace, peace in the valley. For peace in the valley we pray. Give us peace, peace in the valley. Peace in the valley today. We want love in the valley. We'll make love in the valley all day. Give us peace, peace in the valley. Peace in the valley today. Hold me in your arms, sing to me. We want peace, peace in the valley. For peace we pray. In the valley all day. Peace in the valley today. Some give me some, I'll make love every night and day. Give us peace in the valley today. We want peace, peace in the valley. For peace in the valley we pray. Give us peace, peace in the valley. Peace in the valley today. We want love in the valley. We'll make love in the valley all day. Give us peace, peace in the valley. Peace in the valley today.
All right, everybody. That is my song "Peace in the Valley," featuring. Whoops. Let me do that again. I don't have my recording here. I have to edit that. Damn it. They wanted to have to do that. All right, guys. That's my song "Peace in the Valley," featuring Keith the Hawk Hawkins on drums and the lovely and talented Katie Simone on background vocals with me. Katie's all over my album Strange Love as well. So if you like that, you should check that out as well. You can get more information about all that stuff that I have going on at LouLombardiMusic.com, and you can find out more about stuff as well at LoudiniRockandRollCircus.com. So go to LouLombardiMusic.com. I'm going to be releasing more records more music this year. I have an awesome band, and so it's unlike any other music I've ever done before. So it's very cool. So stay tuned. Cool stuff coming. So let's get back to these spacey songs, but I think we have a couple comments.
We do. So Jody for Lizzie said, greetings, Earthlings. Joe Freeman's the one who gave us the movie on Netflix, Don't Look Up. Michael Gold said, Set the Controls for the Heart of the Sun by Pink Floyd. So, of course, he picked a Pink Floyd song.
I have a blank Pink Floyd song, but it's not that one, but yeah.
Fran Crasher said 39. I don't know what that is. Is that a song?
It's a song by Queen.
Okay. I don't even know that one.
Yeah.
And Chris Thunderwolf Dodson is listening. He's also watching the Steelers game. So.
Oh, that's right.
I'm surprised. I went upstairs to get a drink during our break, and I thought Stu would be like glued to the TV.
Oh, is he a Steelers fan?
Yeah, he's a giant Steelers fan.
I didn't even
know.
Guess not. He's not into it. He's sad about Big Ben leaving. That's why.
Big Ben.
Big Ben.
Is Big Ben retiring, or is he?
I think retiring.
This is probably it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's been at that damn football
18 years.
That's a long time, man.
A hot
Yeah.
second.
Hard on your body and everything, dude. Like, God bless him. I know that's not a popular sentiment in Pittsburgh.
No.
I mean, oh my God, Facebook is just like, man.
Yeah, and
This
simmer
is your
down.
hometown team, man. You guys are brutal.
Oh, yeah. Horrible.
Fire this guy. Get rid of that guy. I'm like, holy crap.
Pittsburgh Steelers fans are the most brutal fans ever. They really
They will
are.
turn on them in a second.
Truly.
Do you remember, speaking of that, I'm sorry, guys, for those of you that are not local to Pittsburgh, we're just going to talk amongst yourselves for half a second. Do you remember Mark Malone, Kevin?
Oh, that poor guy.
Right.
That poor guy.
Yeah, people would just chant, "Go home, Malone."
Oh,
like,
that's
let's go,
mean.
Brandon.
Yeah, right? People, when he would lose a game, people would dump garbage on his lawn.
Oh, that's
Yes,
not nice.
that is true.
My friend from high school, Steve Guthrie, said that they were members of his church. Oh. And Mark didn't attend very much because he was always busy on Sunday.
Right.
But his
I mean,
family
funny
would
like
come, and they were like, she said stuff like that.
Yeah.
They're like, people, they would
Wow.
see them in the grocery store, people would come by, yell at them,
They're
and be
shunned.
really mean. Yeah.
People are so
I'm
mean.
Shun.
Yeah. I mean, that's like, oh, come on, guys. So, I mean, there's no excuse for stuff like that.
that's-
You know,
yeah.
that's just, come on, calm down. Please. And this was before Facebook.
Yeah, this was
You can't blame this on
It's more
Facebook.
brutal,
It
actually.
was terrible. I'm going to talk about since Michael Goltz mentioned Pink Floyd, I have Astronomy Domini on my list, and this is this is a really interesting track. Astronomy is the study of celestial bodies.
Yeah.
And to domineer is to control something in an arrogant way. So Astronomy Domini means to control space for personal needs. Okay, I guess you could get that out of that. Again, like, sometimes I don't understand what's written here. They just hand me things and tell me to read them, and I just do what they tell me.
Read this.
Do what they tell me. So let's go, Brandon. This probably represents Epstein didn't kill himself. This
Fired.
This probably represents the space race in the United States of America and the Union of the Soviet Socialist Republic during the Cold War era. So maybe that's what they were talking about. Who knows? Sid was Sid.
Oh, Sid.
This is written by Sid Barrett, who was the group's primary songwriter at the time, a founding member of Pink Floyd. His mental health started deteriorating a short time after this was released, and by 1972 he was out of the band. Doing gardening instead of leading one of the foremost bands in Britain. That's what he was doing. So he was gardening. Pink Floyd went on to far greater success without him, but the songs he wrote represent some of the more adventurous music of the era and show sparks of the genius many believe he could have become. This is from Piper at the Gates of Dawn. This is Pink Floyd's first album. The title came from a chapter heading in The Wind in the Willows, a children's book written by Kenneth Graham and published in 1908 in the UK. It was a hit, reaching number 6. Pink Floyd got some attention when they toured here with the Jimi Hendrix Experience in 1967. So a lot of this is kind of more about the album Piper at the Gates of Dawn. But so that's just a little bit about Astronomy Domini by Pink Floyd. So Pink Floyd they definitely had their. I mean, we could really discuss the entire Dark Side of the Moon album
if we really needed to.
Well, I'm just saying, like that could be like
we
that's
have.
Yeah, we have. We have done it.
No,
we have done it. We have done
total different outlook on it, though.
So that whole album is all about the dark side of the moon, which is it was somebody in one of these songs said, like, don't take it literally. Outer space, space flight, all that it's metaphoric. So they're not necessarily literally talking about. I mean,
actually going to space.
We don't literally
not getting in a rocket, as it were.
We don't literally mean it either.
No, it's not.
We say
not
love your
figuratively. We just love each other.
We love your brother.
Love your brother. Well, not your real brother. That would be, wrong. But it's not actually getting in a spaceship and going up there.
On that happy note, we're going to turn it back over to Lily V6.
Oh, boy.
Save us, Lily.
I can't save you. You cannot be saved.
That's true.
The next one on my list is The Final Countdown by Europe.
Oh, my God.
From 1986.
If you're in Europe, you play The Final Countdown. That's what you do.
Seriously. The lyrics were inspired by David Bowie's Space Oddity, which is also on my list, but it's also a given. Originally made to just be a concert opener. It's the first single and title track from the band's third studio album. This song's lyrics are both apocalyptic and optimistic, describing a trip into space, heading for Venus.
Tripping in space,
and leaving Earth behind.
Space tripping, man.
The music was almost like a soundtrack to a movie about leaving Earth and that the Earth was spent. And one day we'll probably have to leave this place. It was kind of like a dreamlike lyric, but that was the backdrop for it.
Huh.
And I love it. I don't care.
Did not know that.
Even though I know a lot of people are sick of that song.
There's a if you Google, not Google, I'm sorry, but if you type in worst bands or worst covers, this one will come up, and it looks like it's Russia, and there's like maybe 2 or 3 kids on stage doing this song, and it's one of those ones where it's so bad it's good. I mean, they're all out of time, but it's just like the more you watch it, the more you like, why do I want to watch this again? But it's just horrible.
You can't stop looking at it.
I know, it's like a train wreck.
It's a hilariosity.
Oh, that's what it is.
That's a great word.
Okay, let's do one.
Okay.
Since we're talking about
one.
Let's do a number, man.
So, when you put out an album, what do you call it?
Release?
If you're Yes, you call it the Yes album.
Oh, that's what you do.
If I were Yes.
This is from
But I am No.
This is from the Yes album, 1971, by Yes.
Oh, yes.
No.
Yes has come up earlier as when we were talking about Rush. We were talking about how they were influenced. The song is Starship Trooper.
Oh,
And there's some cool riffage in this. This is a bunch of different
riffage
sections in it. But there's a Joe Bonamassa used to do a classic rock medley in his shows. I'm sure he's probably still does it. But he would play Starship Trooper.
Uh-huh.
He would play like the main riff. He would do that thing. So there's just some cool riffage in it as well. The entire band contributed to bits of the song, but lead singer John Anderson, bassist Chris Squire, and guitarist Steve Howe got the writing credits. Sometimes in that situation, maybe it's best to just attribute the song to the whole band. Like, such song written by Yes, but they didn't do it that way. Anderson wrote the lyrics for the song and assisted with the theme and overall composition. Squire wrote the music for Delusion, and Howe wrote Worm, which is the instrumental that ends the piece. Starship Troopers is the title of a 1959 science fiction novel written by Robert Heinlein. Okay, so this is a tie-in to Starship Troopers, which was the basis for a 1997 film. The book has nothing to do with the song except the title, which John Anderson thought was great. When we spoke with Anderson in 2013, he explained, "I just like the idea of Starship Trooper being another guardian angel and mother and Mother Earth, whatever that means. Again, these people probably done so many drugs they can't really put sentences together, or maybe they have a podcast. The third verse was all about, you know who I am, just take care of my soul. So it was as though I was writing about my search for truth and the search for understanding of what God truly is. John, I don't get any of that.
What's he talking about?
He don't even know.
I know, right?
He was just rambling on.
Goodness.
It was late one night. He was at the typewriter. Went to town.
A lot of work went into arranging and recording the song using a 16-track tape machine. Producer Eddie Offord would take pieces from various takes to craft the song. Steve Howe's guitar solo was 2 different takes combined, alternating between the best parts of each. This created an interesting panning effect on the final product. This is called comping in recording speak today, and it is done all the time because see, when they did it, which you guys have to understand, when they were talking tape, there was literally a guy with a razor blade would mark it with a magic marker and cut it, and then we cut the other and put it together. That's how they did it.
How tedious.
Very tedious, and it had to be exact or you would fuck it all up,
Or it would be ruined.
Yes,
Garbage.
You could just totally screw up somebody's record. I think that what they would do is they would make a copy, so they had the original, but that was very time consuming too.
Exactly, yeah.
So listen, so nowadays though, that is done with the left and right click of the mouse.
Right.
It's
all digital.
paste, just like you do in Word.
Right.
Whenever you type in, just like you do on your cell phone, and that's literally all you do. And so much stuff is done. Like a guitar player nowadays they just might let it roll, and he might just play that solo 20 times, and they'll say, "All right, go home."
We'll figure it out.
Go home for tonight, and then when you come in the next day, the solos together. They do stuff like that. Very, very doable. I think now with the business the way that it is and everything's so tight, there may be more of a return to like get in and play it right the first time, but still like cutting and pasting and everything is just what is done. And so this, there's obviously parts of this were assembled that way. Very interesting. A lot of we did a thing on producers, and we talked about Mutt Lange and what he did with the Def Leppard music. Oh yeah. And everybody really kind of acts like that was so innovative, but this was always being done. It was just it just has gotten a lot easier as music has become more digital. So Lily, do you have anything else?
I do.
Oh,
I do.
Good. What do you got?
I have Into the Void by Black Sabbath.
Into the Void.
From the album Master of Reality.
Masturbator of
I knew it.
No, why?
Every time. Various artists have covered the song: Soundgarden, Monster Magnet, Sleep, Dr. No, Exorder, and so on and so on. It was ranked the 13th best.
Beth? Now you're talking like us.
Black Sabbath song.
Oh, Riri.
I hate you guys.
Oh, Riri, you so funny.
This song is the last track on Master of Reality. It's about the Earth becoming so terrible that a group of astronauts fly off into space to try to find a new planet to live on. It has often been compared to Sabbath's 70s song Electric Funeral in terms of lyrics and sound. And that's all I have on that. No more Uranus or any of that.
Okay.
Oh, boy.
So those are songs about outer space.
Wow.
And I hope that you guys enjoyed that. I thought it was fun. It was an interesting topic. So next week we'll be back with some really cool, awesome topic. Next week is the second week. So
is it? Oh yeah.
We'll pick an album.
Yeah.
We're going to continue that for a little while, anyways.
People like that one.
People like that, so we're going to pick an album next week. Let's go ahead and talk about this day.
Okay.
In music. We're finishing kind of like, we're like on schedule now. That's when we should be about 51 minutes.
Look at you being organized.
Wow.
Organized. On this day in 1955, Elvis Presley appeared in Boonesville, Virginia. The 20-year-old singer was still a regional star, but by the end of 56, he had become a national sensation, recording 2 albums, which included Heartbreak Hotel and Blue Suede Shoes. He appeared on national television 11 times, played on over 100 concerts, signed a 7-year contract with Paramount Pictures. So it was a busy period for Mr. Presley. Cliff Richard
Rich Clifford.
Was it number 1 on the UK singles charts on this day in 63 with The Next Time / Bachelor Boy. Both songs were taken from the film Summer Holiday. Oh my God. You guys want to hear something about the Beatles?
I'm kind of over the Beatles.
Well, the Beatles did some cool shit today. The Beatles did cool shit every day.
Yeah, duh.
This is how it is. Carl Wilson, having received, this day in 1967, having received a U.S. Army draft notice, Carl Wilson refused to be sworn in, saying he was a conscientious objector.
Yeah.
On this day in 1969, appearing live on the Lulu show on UK TV, the Jimi Hendrix Experience were booked to perform 2 songs. Voodoo Child, which was performed in full, and then Hendrix stopped performing his new single Hey Joe after a verse and chorus and instead launched into a version of the Cream song Sunshine of Your Love as a tribute to the band who had split a few days earlier. Hendrix then proceeded to continue jamming, running all over the allocated time slot on the live show, preventing the show's host Lulu from closing the show properly.
Rebel.
Damn rock and rollers.
Yeah,
Get off my lawn.
Yeah, that's a famous video. You can find it on YouTube. And he loved Cream, and there was a Chaz Chandler, right? Is that his name? He was Hendrix's manager. He was in the Animals, I believe. And he brought Hendrix over to Cream, like Cream was playing a club or something, and he brought them over, and he was like, I want my friend from America to sit in, and he clapped and was like, no, come on, dude. Like, he was like, absolutely fucking not. And he's like, but because it was Chaz Chandler and they knew he was in the business, so they said, well, and you clapped and it was floored. They were just blown away by him. On this day in 1970, working on the Get Back sessions in Studio 2 of EMI Studios, London, 3 Beatles, Paul, George, and Ringo, record 16 takes of the George Harrison song, I, Me, Mine. John Lennon was away in Denmark at the time. A decade later, it became the title of George Harrison's autobiography. Wow. 2 weeks of rehearsals for Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon. Tour began on this day in 1972. This day in 1976, the Bay City Rollers went to number 1 on the U.S. single charts with Saturday Night.
I love that song.
Saturday Night. Giant song.
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to see if we have any birthdays today.
You know whose birthday is today?
Not mine.
Me mom's.
Your mom's.
Me mom.
Oh,
Yes.
that's wonderful.
Yes.
So, speaking of the Beatles, again, George Martin was born this day in 1926.
Wow.
George Martin, for you kids out there don't know, he was the Beatles producer.
Yes.
Stephen Stills.
Ah.
Love the One You're With, right? Marrakesh Express, all those great songs. Born this day in 1945.
Oh, look at the next one.
This is a good one, too. This is, we're getting the bass player some love today.
Yeah, who is it?
Happy birthday to John Paul Jones from Led Zeppelin.
All right.
Bassist, keyboards, producer with Led Zeppelin, who had the 1969 U.S. number 4 singer Whole Lot of Love. The band's 4th album, released in 1971, featuring the rock and roll classic Stairway to Heaven, was sold over 37 million copies. As a session player in the 60s, he worked with the Stones, the Yardbirds, Donovan, Jeff Beck, Lulu, who was mentioned earlier. Just played on
Everyone.
tons of people. I got to see, he also is a member of Them Crooked Vultures, who I believe is Dave Grohl part of that?
I don't know, to be honest.
Dave Grohl plays with like everybody.
Yeah.
Right.
He's like your dad. He's everyone. But John Paul Jones.
Yeah, you're right. It's Dave Grohl.
That's what I thought.
Of course, Dave.
That was a Dave Grohl thing, man. So that was this day in music.
Wow.
It was a good day.
It was a good day.
It was a good
Fine
day.
day.
It was a fine day. So.
It was a really good day.
Thank you. We're definitely gonna go to jail now.
I'm gonna have to be more specific on the no voices thing.
Oh.
More Pacific.
Yeah. We didn't do any kind of
You didn't do any space
voices,
noise.
So
Yeah, she said we weren't
One
allowed to do any
little victory there.
space nerd stuff.
yeah,
Yeah.
and we
No
didn't.
space nerds.
We didn't.
Ginger's nothing but a bunch of space nerds.
And there it is. Boom goes dynamite.
Oh, that's just crazy. So
Snap goes to crackle. Pop.
Crackle goes to pop.
wow, are you cracking pop again?
Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
You know me.
You know, the other night I was laying in bed and the song from my youth came into my head. Jimmy Cracked Corn.
Oh my god, I love that song.
So I thought it was kind of a funny idea, cracking corn.
Right.
Sure.
And so I had to look it up.
Yes.
Can you crack corn?
Yeah.
And you can actually crack corn.
You Googled that, didn't you?
No way.
That's now in my search history.
Wow.
Oh my gosh. And now the
I did not know you could
people
do
in the universe are like, what is he doing?
Yes. Sometimes you just have to Google some shit and see what happens.
that. Oh boy.
Sometimes you get in trouble doing that.
Nah.
How
All
to
right, guys.
dispose
Thank
of
you
a
so
body.
much for hanging out. It is the Ludini Rock and Roll Circus. LudiniRockandRollCircus.com. Or LouLombardiMusic.com. Oh, by the way, the song we played earlier, that's nowhere right now except here.
Yeah.
So I hope that you had your tape player set up to record it.
Did you get a cassette?
So you got a cassette copy of it. I don't mind you guys taking it as long as you just play it for as many people as you fucking can.
And give credit where credit's
Yes,
due.
let
Right.
everybody know. Like, spread it around. If you like the song, spread it around. Oh, my goodness. So, had really a good time. I think we are off to a good start for 2022
Yeah, for sure.
here with this
Yes.
little podcast thing. Looking forward to a fun 2022. Let's finish up by going around the room. We're not going to say New Year's resolutions, but just say, like, something you'd like to see go happen or you'd like to do in 2022.
Me first?
Yeah.
Him first. I would like to see more live shows this year. I did get to see more last year, but even more so this year. And I do need to let everyone know that the band Magical Mystery Doors is fantastic. Please go see them if they are in your town. It's a mashup of the Doors, Beatles, and Led Zeppelin. You'll love them.
Oh, that's
You will love
kinda
them.
cool.
Sounds awesome.
You will love them.
That sounds freaking great. That sounds really cool. Thank you for that. And when is your show again?
My show is Thursday, 6 p.m. on Rock Rage Radio. Go to rockrageradio.com or just download the app for free.
Okay. Mr. Pittsburgh, you have any kind of thing you'd like to see happen or something you'd...
Yeah, I could be like all lie and say, "Oh, world peace" or end of the pandemic. You know what I would see in 2022, Lou? Either a blonde or butterscotch Telecaster.
Okay. All right.
For me,
I
so
think that is a
not the
great-
poor children of the world. For me.
You're being selfish.
Yeah, I am.
I would like to see myself on a stage playing music on a very regular basis. Really want to get back out there
Yeah.
and start playing.
And I will
I'm
be in the
really
audience.
I'm
Me
so
and Lou.
tired of not playing. All right, guys. We love y'all. Have a great rest of the week. We'll catch you all on the next Ludini Rock and Roll Circus.
See ya.